Patterson says her ex-bridesmaid stole her engagement ring and pawned it to get money to party with. Defendant Neivi Langi says she would never do that to her best friend and is deeply hurt by the accusation that she's a thief.
Case number 114 on the docket.
Okay. We have the plaintiff, Ms. Patterson. You are suing your former best friend for $5,000 for stealing her engagement ring.
Yes,
What's that about?
The defendant, Neivi, is my former bridesmaid and best friend.
Yes.
And I believe she stole my engagement ring and pawned it.
Ma'am, have a seat. Have a seat, ma'am.
Okay.
Kai, you know I would never steal. I'm not that person. I wouldn't steal from you, bro. We're sisters.
So on the day, it was a Tuesday, I had an early shift at work, and I got off and I asked Neivi if she could take me to track practice. I was very tired and I didn't want to drive, so she took me in my car. When she dropped me off, I asked if she could hold my ring because I do track and field,
yes.
And my hammer glove, it would get caught inside the hammer glove. I didn't feel comfortable leaving it at our college apartment ever. I never really took it off at home, so I asked if she could hold it. She dropped me off at exactly 4. She was there at 5 p.m. to pick me up when we got back to the apartment. I took a shower. She started getting ready when I asked her if she could grab my ring, and she said it was left in the car. And she never came back upstairs. She went downstairs to grab my ring. She never came back upstairs. I woke up to a text message at 1 o'clock in the morning saying that she had lost my ring and that she was sorry. She was going to pay me back. She wasn't sure what happened to it. The next day I went to file a police report, and afterwards I was calling pawn shops and looking around for it. And afterwards I saw on her Snapchat that she had been out hanging out at a party or something with a lot of people, and that she had been driving drunk in my car.
I felt bad.
And why were you partying? Why were you recording videos, hanging out with your family?
I was depressed and I turned to alcohol.
Why were you doing
I know
that
it's bad.
then?
I know it's bad. Everybody knows that being an alcoholic, you know, like, you're not supposed to, like, drink, you know? You're not supposed to turn that way, but that's what I did.
In your video, you were laughing. Like, you didn't even feel bad.
Oh, my gosh.
What do you think happened to the ring?
I connected it to my keychain because, I've never lost my keys. I was like, you know what? I put it in my pocket and then dropped her off. It was in my pocket, went back to the shop that I usually chill at, and then waited till it was time to pick her up. I'm guessing, so when I picked her up, I dropped her off, and she was like, oh, you have my ring? I was like, yeah. Checked my pocket, it wasn't there. I was like thinking, oh, maybe I dropped it in the car. I'm thinking when you get in the car, you know how sometimes like you're dropping, maybe it fell out while I'm getting in the car.
If it was on your keychain, how did you start the car?
No, it's her keys. I have my own keys.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay.
Can I just add that when...
And who are you?
I'm Neivi's best friend. I used to be best friends with Kyra as well, her former...
And your name?
Michael.
Yeah, okay.
You go to track practice. Why in the first place would you even take your ring to practice knowing that it's going to get caught underneath your ring? Leave it in your room.
It didn't have a solid lock. I didn't feel comfortable.
But you leave everything else. You leave everything else in your room. Why not leave it in your room? Like, I don't understand why you would take it out to practice and to begin with. Like, it's an engagement ring. Don't even, nonetheless, even give it to anybody to begin with.
This isn't even her business. She's not even in it at all.
It doesn't matter if it's my business. Maybe it's my best friend.
That's why you're here, because it's not your
life situation.
But it's not your business. It's affecting your life situation. It's my life.
You shouldn't have took your ring to begin with.
Ma'am, judge is speaking now, ma'am.
All right. Was the ring insured?
It was not. I had just gotten it. Less than 3 weeks.
This is an engagement ring?
It's my engagement ring, yes.
Is that the ring?
Yeah, that's my engagement ring.
And he didn't have it insured?
No, not yet. I had just gotten it a few weeks before, and we had discussed getting it that Friday. So it was a Tuesday. We discussed getting it that Friday.
Do you have a receipt for it?
No.
You guys were best friends for how long?
2 years.
Yeah,
2 years.
2 years.
I can't believe that you ever thought that this would be a person who would steal your ring and pawn it and whatever. I mean, who does that with a best friend?
Like, that's not my character, bro.
Okay, what is believable is that she lost it. This stealing it, this pawning it on both sides. I think this is a case where you were best friends.
Well, sir, she betrayed me.
I know you're a good person, but right now what you're doing, and you know that.
Man.
You know that. We're sisters, Kai. Sisters.
Man, you have to refrain from
I'm sorry.
What I did, because Neivi's my best friend, I see her almost every day. What I did for her was that I went to jewelry stores around the area and I asked about the ring. Because I myself, even though we fell out on bad terms, When she came to practice one day looking for her ring, I went up to her and I hugged her and I said, I heard what happened. I will help you look for it.
That's very nice of you, but you didn't lose the engagement ring. And if she would have told me immediately at 5:15 when you went downstairs, and if it was really lost, I could have found it. My engagement ring. You know how important that was to me. Why didn't you tell me? You're calling Michael, you're calling Dee, you're calling whoever else. They have nothing to do with it. I don't even understand why she's here.
I have an opportunity to find it myself before you can even know. I'm gonna take that chance because
you didn't
I
take
looked
that
right
opportunity
after.
because you were far away. You were 30 miles away. What were you gonna do there? If you told me, even if you would have told me immediately, I could have been looking. If you were going to go do your own thing, you weren't looking because I saw your video.
When I left Ontario, I came right back. I looked. That's why I called you. I texted you at 1 a.m. What do you think I was doing?
You texted. When I found you at 1 a.m., you were drunk. You were
I was not
asleep on
drunk.
the bed.
I was not drunk.
Why was there an empty? Why was there an empty alcohol container
All right,
in my
I've
car?
given no more. You are young women that were best friends and are really ticked off at each other. You're ticked off because you lost your engagement ring, and you're ticked off because a former best friend who had asked you to be in the bridesmaid is accusing you of doing bad things other than being careless. There is no question in my mind that you were careless. Somebody gives you an engagement ring.
She could have said no.
Do you have a receipt for...
So
No. No,
all we know, she could be making up the price.
Man, you can have a seat.
Okay,
Please, thank you. He said he didn't feel like he was ever going to return it or that he would ever need to resell it, so he didn't keep track of it.
Knowing that you were coming to court today, even yesterday, you could have called the store where you bought it, where he bought it. And if this is a $13,000 ring, there is a record there of the day it was bought, the specific ring, the value of the ring. Why couldn't you bring that to court with you? Because they will have the record of who they sold that ring to. And then we can see, first of all, if it's a $13,000 ring, you're asking me to judge how much that ring costs, and looking at a picture,
I found similar rings online.
See, that doesn't work. This part doesn't have to be a debate. You could have walked in here and said, the ring was purchased by your fiance on this date in this store. The ring costs this much. This is the value of the ring. The store has all that information. Yes. Instead of saying, it's a fake ring, somebody pointed all this. We could know that. Even if I saw it in person, how am I going to know what a ring costs? Because you didn't come here with the clear evidence of what it's worth to enable this court to make a decision. So no one went in this to commit a crime. I'm going to penalize you somewhat, because when it's an engagement ring from your best friend, you got to just not slam it in your pocket, put it on your ring, and lose it. That's not just could you hold my pen. And so I'm going to fine for the plaintiff $500. Hey, YouTube, check out my new show, Judge Jerry. Now, for sneak preview and behind-the-scenes footage, subscribe to my channel now.